costa. Vamos lá, galera. 3, 2, baby coming.
The Brazilians started coming. It wasn't long before babies were on the way.
Come on. Hush, little Pelly, lay down to nap. We're gonna make you a Scotland cap.
Developments in gardens across the country.
Against Daddy, go.
Archie even got in on the act.
Mi nome é Archie.
Vamos fazer bebê?
Vamos fazer bebê.
And we caught a glimpse of the future.
And Robert Senior returns from injury to partner Davy Da Costa, Aberdeenio and Golden Boy Flavio McFadden up front.
We then teamed up with The Sun and the News of the World and gave away a campaign handbook containing useful phrases and a feijoada supper recipe. The Sun even went to Brazil to cover the story. We also put up projections in Glasgow city centre. The fans went wild and the campaign scored a month of press coverage, from the tabloids right through to the broadsheets. We'll lift the cup in 2034. It's going to be phenomenal.
Un grand idea. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about Frame, about the agency. The vision that Alan had for the agency was just very simple. Create something great, and we measure it by two simple measurements. Are we great to work with, and are we great to work for? And if you get those two things right in an agency, and I think no tableau has, then you create a great agency. Success follows from those two principles. What we actually do is we provide ideas. We're an ideas agency. But these three words, which are very similar in Spanish to they are in English, we provide intelligentsia, intelligence, planning. We apply the logic side, the planning side, to how we create great ideas. But integrity is important. Integridad. An honesty, a transparency, a respect for our clients, a respect for their budgets, a respect for each other is hugely important part of how an agency works. And finally, what we try and provide is inspiration, inspirational ideas and inspiration to work with. And again, those are the three guiding principles by how Frame operate. Just two examples of some of our work. Subway. I don't know if you have Subway in Uruguay, sandwich chain, huge. It's now overtaken McDonald's in the UK. It's a very strong brand, but quite a difficult thing when it came to the UK. Initially, people found it hard to order in Subway. Too much choice, too many selections, food, bread, meat, salad, and it was also quite expensive. So Frame came, we had an idea, it was called Sub of the Day, and it was a low price point product that was promoted each day of the week. And that made it simple to go and order a low cost and got people into a better understanding of how Subway operated. We're famous for a couple of advertising is probably what we're most famous for, and I'll show you the ad for Subway.
The sub of the day from Subway. A different sub every day for just $1.99. Yep, still only $1.99. Made the way you want.
Olives?
No. So, no surprises. The sub of the day. Still only $1.99. Subway. Eat fresh.
Okay, next slide. The other ad that I'm very proud of, this is for a cider, a cidre, as you would know it. Cider has become very popular in the UK over the last 5 or 6 years. Bulmers was number 2 to market. There's a brand called Magners that was first, and introduced the idea, a very simple idea, of putting ice into cider, which is very unusual thought. So Bulmers was produced by Heineken, and it was especially produced to put ice into it. So we had a brief. It was a competitive pitch. We were pitched against one of the top creative agencies in London, and when we pitched this idea, it was the first TV campaign I'd been involved in, and I pitched the idea. And we only pitched one. When you go into a pitch, you normally pitch maybe 2 or 3 ideas to cover all the bases. We went in with one idea, Because we only had one idea. Nothing else was good enough. So we had the confidence to say, this is a great idea. And for me, it was a great sense of satisfaction, because the script that we presented in the pitch was exactly what we produced in the film. Normally, the process to produce a television ad with Heineken is 26 weeks. We produced not only this ad, but they also made us produce 2 ads simultaneously. And then the marketing director, who is a crazy guy, chose on the Friday night which one he preferred best to go on air on the Saturday. A ridiculous amount of wastage of money, but that's what we did. Such was the importance that we got this absolutely right. So very proud of the ad, and I'll show it to you now.
Because every bottle of Bulmer's original cider is chill filtered at 0 degrees when it's made, each one follows a natural instinct, risking everything to make it back to the ice and the way it was born to be. Cold, crisp, fresh, safe and... oh.
Bulmer's Original, born for ice.
Okay. Finally, the famous grouse. A product close to my heart. We do a lot of this work is current. There's 2 campaigns I'll show you. The first campaign, the famous grouse, Scotland's #1 whisky, Scotland's favourite whisky. And it's important for famous grouse, which is available throughout the world, that it retains that position of being Scotland's #1. Because if the Scots appreciate, and this is our favourite whisky, then it sends out signals throughout the world that if the Scots, who know a thing about whisky, think it's the best, then it's a great way to promote it throughout the world. So it's very important to famous grouse to stay #1 in Scotland. So a couple of things that we do. The next slide is this is a campaign. It's about making the bars in the UK famous for a reason. So there are some fantastic bars throughout the UK, many with great stories about why they should be famous. It might be because some famous person drank there once, way back in history, or a current celebrity. It might be because it's haunted, or because it sells terrific food. So we identify 100 of the best bars in the United Kingdom, and we give them the bottle that we gave Notable. We personalise the bottle of whiskey to put behind the bar. And we put a sign outside saying it's part of the famous 100 programme. And we pushed this is a supplement that went into the Sunday Telegraph, one of the biggest selling newspapers in the UK. And we work very closely with the trade to make their pubs famous for a reason. The other activity we do is with the Scottish rugby team. Famous Grouse have sponsored the Scottish Rugby Union for over 20 years. So when Scotland play at home at Murrayfield, we take over the city, we brand the city. We have, whether it's the bird walking around with a promotional team, or on the right-hand side, this is a major poster site in the centre of Edinburgh, right beside the railway station. And in the Saltire flag there is 1,000 pictures of Scottish fans who have sent the photograph into the website for us to put into one of the biggest poster sites in Scotland on the day when Scotland are playing rugby. So that's famous grouse. The final example I'll show you is we work with the Scottish Rugby Union, the SRU. And this is a campaign that whenever Scotland are playing at home to help sell tickets and get people along to the match. Our campaign line is, when Scotland play, we all play. And some clever use of media with the ad breaking into the copy there on the right-hand side. So it's one of the other big Scottish accounts that we have. So that's the SRU. Final campaign I'll show you before I leave you is it's currently running, and I need your help with this one. It's called The Longest Pass. And the idea is to encourage as many people to create a film that goes on to the SRU website in the run-up to the Rugby World Cup, which happens in the autumn. So it's also shown on the large screen at the International Rugby Stadium at Murrayfield. So I would like to encourage you all, I'm going to show you the film, and I want you to think about ways in which you might create your own film to send in to the website that you'll see at the end. Okay. Who would like to make a film? Hand up. Karishi, okay? Okay, ready? Are you ready? Okay. Just a little bit less. I'd like to leave you with a toast. Might as well finish it. Right, David Ogilvy. Who knows David Ogilvy? The most famous man in advertising ever in the world. David Ogilvy was a Scot. How many people knew he was a Scot? Well, he used to walk up and down Madison Avenue wearing a kilt. He was very proud of his Scottish heritage and his national identity. And it helped differentiate him in Madison Avenue and made him the character, the larger-than-life character he was. He was a great source of inspiration to many people, including myself, and many people have read his books. And the book he wrote 50 years ago, Confessions of an Advertising Man, is still one of the top texts that are used to teach advertising throughout the world. So David Ogilvy, had he still been alive, would have been 100 years old this year. And on the 23rd of June, in Scotland, we're celebrating his birthday. You are all invited. Please come. We can have a full day of celebration. He is very popular currently because he is the inspiration behind the hit TV series Mad Men. But one of the greatest legacies he has is he created the expression, the big idea. He would say that advertising, unless it has a big idea, will pass like a ship in the night. So he created the expression, the big idea. So I want to leave you with a toast to La Grande Idea, because it is at the centre of marketing. So thank you very much for having me. Muchas gracias.